Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, they've done it. They've gone and done it. They've dropped the fusion, and as I expected, was concerned about, we have got 22 new champions in the game, and 21 of them are sitting on this fusion page. It's just a bit of a shady way of doing a fusion. If you're doing a fusion like this, we'd rather have a fragment summon, please, because this is way harder than a fragment summon. If you're going to do a fusion, give us at least 50% of the champions already in the game. Otherwise, what is the point? What is the point in me stockpiling champs and everyone else doing the same? It pisses me off. It's just like, it's so underhand. At least make the rares already in the game. Like, don't throw in another 16 rares. So we've got to do all of the different fusion events. We've got to level every one of these champions, ascend every one of these champions before we can get the fusion. It's just totally underhand. I hate the way they've done this. They've done it before in the past, but it's mind-boggling that they don't learn from their mistakes. What I'm going to do now, so I've gone through all of the champions that are coming into the game. I'm going to call out the ones which I think might be worth your time. And I'm basing this on, not everyone's going to get this fusion yet. This is tough. If you don't own any champion that's coming in the fusion, you have to be around for the next 3 weeks on this game grinding, and you need the resources to do that and all that type of stuff. So this is going to be a really tough fusion. I'll get into how to do the fusion effectively in a minute. Firstly, I'm going to call out the champions which I think are actually pretty strong, or could be pretty strong. Obviously, we've not played with any of them yet, but just on paper, with the sort of way they've been built out, I think they could be good. So let's start here. So a rare then, which I'm interested now. I can't say if he's strong or not, okay? I'm interested to see if his multipliers are any good. Purgator, very high base attack. He's got a double hitter A1, ignores shields. He's got an AoE A2, inflicts more damage for each debuff on him. Maybe you put him with a Vergumkaar and he can get an extra 30% crit damage just from being with Vergumkaar. And then he's got an an A3, decreased max HP. I'm not really fussed about that. I'm kind of interested to see how hard does his A2 hit. So it's based off his attack. His base attack is very high. And he's got an ignore shield here as well. So it's mainly for me an arena champ, but could be a pretty solid arena champion to pair up with that Vergumkaar potentially. So he's just like a bit of a watch out. Definitely not, bust your gut to get him, but I'm interested to see what he can do. The other one in this same faction is Sanctum Protector. Sanctum Protector, very stocky, isn't he? Look at it, he's got a really small head compared to how stocky he is. So he has got stun on his A1, that's kind of okay. AoE attack on his A2. It's all based off of defense, and he's got a pretty healthy amount of base defense. And places then increased defense on all your team, which is nice. 3 turn cooldown if you book it out. And then he's got a provoke. It's only a 1 champion provoke, but just because he's a defensive champion, 100% chance to provoke if you book it. He might do you a job in something like Faction Wars. That's all I'm thinking there. Not crazy. I don't think he's going to be crazy or anything like that, but just might be worth a look at if you're like free to play and you're not going to get that fusion. Next one then I'm going to look at is this Wyvern Bane. Wyvern Bane, pretty cool looking champ, I think. Like this one. Again, another rare, attack based. So we've got here decreased speed. The big, is it the big version? Not sure actually. It might be a weak version. I think it's weak version. On an A1, 30% chance to land it. It's not too bad. I'm thinking something like Fire Knights here. It's got attack 1 enemy. Booked out is 50% chance of dropping turn meter by 20%. It's not bad. And then attack 1 enemy on the A3 as well. It's okay. Like, it could be a finite champ. to bring you some debuffs that you need, a bit of turn meter reduction. It's not insane, but it's not bad. Okay, next one is actually probably getting a bit better on the rares. So we've got Avir the Archmage. It's not Archmage, Ouchmage. I really love this character skin. This is my sort of thing right here. So he's got a poison. He just dropped his staff as well. Awesome. He's got a poison on his A1. 45% chance to land a poison for 2 turns. It's not bad. I wish this was more like 70%, but there you go. We've got an AoE A2, decrease attack, decrease speed. It's the weak versions again. Also places decreased speed on targets under poison debuff. So if anyone's got poison on them, that's happening. But it's a 50% chance, can book it up to 100% chance of a weak decrease attack. I'm thinking of this guy just potentially good for faction wars. Like Dwarves struggle in faction wars big time. He's got turn meter fill in his A3 and a heal. I like it. He's got AoE decrease attack and speed on his A2. I like it. And some poisons on his A1. It's the big version poisons. Good base stats. I think this guy could be pretty useful for faction wars. And the other one in here is Dildal. The only void really that I'm interested in out of all of these champs. We've got a decreased speed. Again, it looks like they're going with rares now have the weak version of stuff. But A1 decreased speed. A2 AoE hit, decreased accuracy. It's all attack based. And then A3 triple hitter, decreased defense. So Dildal again, I thought might be useful for someone for faction wars and Fire Knights, potentially. Single hit here, double hit here. Triple hit here is always going to be pretty good for Fire Knights. Reasonable cooldowns on these as well. So yeah, so some rares that I think could be useful, but no standout rares. Nothing like Frozen Banshee when she came out, and those sort of guys. On to the epics. There's 2 epics that I like the look of. This one, I like the look of his kit. I mean, he looks like he's been hit by COVID pretty hard. Like, he's meant to be a Dark Elf. If you look at the kind of models of Dark Elves, yeah, very slender, like good shape, these guys. Oh, he has been hit by COVID hard. He has been on his sofa waiting to get back to work. It's like a fat king getting back to work. I don't know. Caden, anyway. Caden, really good amount of base defense here. Very high. Okay base speed, okay base HP. Everything's based on defense, so that's good. He's got an A1, kind of weak source provoke, like 30% chance to provoke on an epic. It's probably a bit weaker than you'd like. But AoE decrease attack, can book it up to 100% chance to land. I like it. And revive 2 allies with 50% HP and puts increased defense on them. This is like 4-turn cooldown. This is faction war god right here. Like, you want to kill faction wars with 3 stars. Looking at the rest of the faction, if you do not have Blind Seer, there's literally there's very few defensive champions anyway. Like, do we have any? 1 here maybe? I think that's it. Maybe Warden is. Warden is as well. So very few defensive champions in the pool of people to use. And actually, Dark Elves is one of the ones I struggle with. I've got a ton of the legendaries, but attack, and this one is like to support. So I actually think he's going to be in a ton of faction war teams. He is going to be in. He's probably in mine. He's probably straight out into my faction war team. Even though I can do 21. If you can't do 21, he's in 100% because of this ability here. So Caden, definitely one worth looking out for. Next one then is probably like the MVP. Everyone's already talking about her anyway, but Fayne. Fayne, I'm telling you now, Fayne plus Vizier equals everything you need for Clan Boss. Like, it's kind of nuts. I don't think there's another champion in the game that does it all. She literally does everything you need for Clan Boss in one champ. I guess, look, really cool champ. Aesthetics, I like the way they've gone for something completely different here. You've got a double hitter A1, a chance to steal a bit of turn meter. I like that it's a steal turn meter instead of just reduce. So that's cool. We've got a attack 1 enemy, 3-turn cooldown if you book it out. 75% chance of placing 2 poisons, and 50% chance of placing decreased attacks. That becomes 75%. No, 100% chance of placing both of those things once you book it out. She's attack based and she's got a ton of attack. I don't know how her multipliers are going to roll, but she does a ton of attack damage. Maybe in an unkillable team, Vizier, Fayne together sounds insane to me. You've got all the poisons you need coming here. 3-turn cooldown. She also will play a bit like Light Swan. I did a guide on Light Swan yesterday. Basically, because you get decreased attack for 2 turns and it's a 3-turn cooldown, you should be able to roll in. You don't need decreased attack for the slam round, okay, of Clan Boss. So you could have decreased attack out for the whole time that you need it, even if you're not running a Vizier, if you're running Fayne. So she does have, though, incredibly low defense. Like, insanely low defense and very low HP. So it feels like if she's not in an unkillable team, she's probably going to suffer. Yeah, it feels like she will not survive outside of an unkillable team. She's got an A3, triple hit. The first hit, chance of placing decreased defense for 3 turns. That's 100% if you book it. The second hit, again, chance of placing weaken for 3 turns. The third hit, heals his champion. Yeah, I mean, just an incredible kit, but feels like an unkillable team. Unkillable with Vizier, and you're laughing. But very cool champion, definitely worth your time. So let's look at the 2 legendaries that have dropped as well in this patch. Now, I really love the look of this legendary that's part of the fusion. He's almost too big to get on the screen. Vergumkaar. He just looks to me like a mount from, from an MMO. Just looks like a massive mount. You're going to sit on his back and ride him to victory. Maybe ride him pretty slowly. I don't know. But what we got here then? So he is support-based, very high HP, pretty good defense, pretty good speed. So good base stats. He's got a stun on his A1. It increases in chance. So it's already 45% chance if you book it. Increases by 15% for every buff on the target that he's going after. So this could easily become 100%. However, normally if someone's getting buffed a ton, they're probably going to have block debuffs on. So it's kind of like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? His damage is based on attack, which means he's probably not going to do a load of damage. All saying that, though, some support champions have very high multipliers on their damage. It's just hard to get their damage up. But I don't think he's going to be in there for damage. Remove all provokes on his A2. And 1 random debuff from all allies. Places increased defense for 2 turns on allies who have got debuffs removed. And places a shield for 20% of this champion's HP. You're going high HP. You're going to get a shield out of him. I feel like he's a cool champ. I'm just not sure where we're using him yet. Attacks all enemies. Remove 1 random buff from each enemy on his A3. So another kind of buff remover. We've already got remove random buffs. This is removing debuffs from you. This is removing buffs from the enemy. 75% chance of removing 2 random buffs. Can't boot that up anymore. Places block heal debuff for 3 turns on enemies who have got 1 or more removed. And places a decreased defense on enemies who have got 2 buffs removed. It's a great ability, okay? So you're taking away their buffs, you're replacing them with nasty debuffs. There's a ton of stuff going on. I do like it. It just feels like an arena champion. It feels like an arena champion in a team that's going second, which is always makes me wary because how often do you win those fights? Immune to provokes, I like that. So you're kind of like, I guess if you're building him up, you're picking him to go against that provoke champ. You know, if someone's got an Umbral in their lineup, if someone's got an Angar, someone's got a Morley, there's a ton of them out there. You just slide him into your team. He gets immune to the provoke. You then remove those provokes from your team, and then you get to get some defensive stats on. So all in all, Vergumkaar, good champ. Is he going to be like a meta breaker? No. Is he worth going for? I think he probably is. But especially with Doom Tower around the corner, we don't know how many champs are going to be, how many bosses are going to have provokes and stuff like that. So it's probably worth going for, but He's not going to be like a broken groundbreaking champ, I think. Someone, though, who might be is Ursuga Warcaller. So new Void Legendary just coming to the game. I mean, look at that beast. Handsome lady this is. Handsome lady. What a wicked skin this is. I love it. So, she's got a block cooldown steals on her A1. That's okay. Everything's based off of HP, and her base HP is high. 23k. Her base defense is also high. 1.5k and 108 speed. Those base stats are literally insanely good. Really, really good. So block cooldown skills here. Damage is all based off HP. It'd be interesting to see if she's one of these weak source hitters or Sonic hitters. AoE on her A2 with a decreased crit damage debuff and decreased attack, where the target's got high attack. Decreased speed and decreased defense, where the target's got high defense. I love this ability. It's a fantastic ability. You can even book it to 3 turns. I love it. Ally protection and strengthen on her A3. 3-turn cooldown makes her totally relevant for clan boss. Totally relevant for clan boss. What's this on? 3-turn cooldown, decrease attack. So she can be your decrease attack champion for clan boss. Watch this space. She can be your decrease attack champion for clan boss, as well as an ally protect and a strengthen, which is insanely strong. Strengthen's the strongest buff in the game. So basically, strengthen just straight out negates 25% of the damage coming at you. Ally protection, put that on top of ally protection. It's fantastic. And then she's got a passive, decrease the damage all allies receive from crits by 30%. Tell me an arena team you come up against which isn't throwing crits at you. If they're not throwing crits at you, they've built their champions wrong. This champion gets that damage instead, though, which is a bit worrying. So 30% of all crits coming on her. But she's got such good base stats, I think she can probably take it. All in all, I think she's going to be super cool. Super cool champ. I'd be interested to see if she hits hard at all. But yeah, guys, on one stage, I'm kind of pleased we've got some fun new champs that are coming in. The other stage, why did they do this? So, sorry, the video is going long. We're just going to keep punching on. So, let's see then, how are we going to go about doing this fusion if you want to do it? Now, we've got, just under 3 weeks worth of time. You can get some of these champions straight out. Look, basically, all of them except Tahak, you can get straight out from an event in the game. So understand yourself. Can you do that event? Is that an event you can do? So Fayne is a summon rush. That's blatantly just a shard number. We're not going to know that, though, until late in the game. In fact, the 16th to the 19th, these 3 parts of the events, this is a bit sleazy. You have to do these 3 because you don't know if you can do this one, pretty much. Unless you know you whale out and you've got tons of shards, you won't know if you can do this until late on in the day. And 3 of the rares would have already ended. So pretty much, you've got to understand yourself. Do you have enough shards to do a summon rush generally? We know she'll be towards the end of the summon rush. So if you're not packing shards, if you're not putting cash in, you're probably going to have to farm these rares up. Champion training, generally quite easy to get the rares. Champion chase tournament is shards again. That's from the 9th to the 12th. We've got Deep, Alchemist, Dungeon Divers, generally the easiest ones out there. Artifact event is just a straight out, have you got enough silver in the bank? So all of those are pretty doable. Champion chase, champion training. Champion chase is the only one you've got to kind of watch out for. You've got Baroth, champion training event. So that one's probably already landed. Let's just have a look. It's going to be right down the back end. Oh, it's coming in. No, it's coming in near enough a day. That champion will be right down the back end. You're talking like 25k points normally, something like that. So that will be a very tough champion to get just from the champion training. So in that one, I would advise you probably to go with the rares, unless you know you've got loads of food ready to go. Classic Arena, always easy. Artifact Event, kind of what we said here. As long as you've got the silver banked, you're fine. Probably need for the two together about 35 mil silver to just do it straight out. Fire Knights here on Purgator, generally, that's probably going to be about 1,200 worth of energy to get that normally, something about that. And then Spider Tournament as well, so similar sort of thing. Caden, Champion Chase, you can get them straight out. So two of the ones you can get straight out are from summoning. Surprise, surprise. You've got a Dungeon Divers event here, though. Dungeon Divers event here, number 3. Dungeon Divers events are normally pretty easy. A Dragon Tournament, Champion Training. So it feels like the top 3 are all achievable. I'd say most of them are probably going to be easier. Unless you're burning shards on the summoner stuff, they'll be easier to get through rares. And then you've got the last one here, 2 hack. The other thing with, just thinking about it, the other thing with summoning is you might summon some of these champs. So if you're going to go summoning hard on one of them, I would go summoning hard on Caden and do the rares for this fella, because you might just get this fella when you're trying to summon for Caden. That's what I would do. 2 hack the Wanderer. So we've got Classic Arena, very easy. Ice Golem Tournament is just about energy again. Summon Rush here towards the end. This is going to be another, just a kind of watch out really. But the rares are normally pretty achievable in these Summon Rush events. And then we've got Champion Training here. So it's all the normal sort of stuff. It's a case of, do you have enough energy? Did you already find yourself enough potions up? Because potions are going to be hard in this one. And do you have enough silver for things like the artifact events? If you've got those 3 things, it's then down to, can you afford to summon? So, a lot in the video, guys. I'm pissed off they've decided to do it this way again. I'm absolutely psyched for that new Void Legendary. Easily the best champion drop of this set. But I also think Caden in the Dark Elves is actually my highlight. Probably more so. Most people have been talking about the rats. I actually think the Fat King is, COVID King, let's call him, is actually probably my favourite out of the lot. So, let me know what you think, guys. I'm pretty sure I know what the comments are going to say. Let's get into it if you want to. I'm going to get these guys as quick as I can to show you what they're actually like. I've been Hell Hades. I'll catch you later.